It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, your emails at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. Well, it was very surprising a few weeks ago when Karen Bass came out and said, hey, remember that $1 billion budget deficit? We don't have one anymore, and we don't need to lay anybody off. It was quite a far cry from where we were back in March when the city administrator, Max Szabo, said, oh, we're broke and we're going to need to make major cuts. Then a month later, Karen Bass comes out with her budget proposal saying we need to lay off 1,600 people. The LA City Council tinkers with it and says we need to lay off 600 people. And now we don't need to lay off anybody. Well, at some point, you all imagine the other shoe was going to drop. Like, how exactly do we erase a $1 billion budget deficit when we did not make significant cuts to the programs that were wasting money? Like, I don't know, Karen Bass's homeless programs. Well, one of the ways that you can balance a budget is by raising revenues, but not, of course, by raising taxes because you need the voters' approval to do that. So what do you raise instead? Fees, which are taxes by another name, a very legally distinct name, because the city can just raise them on their own and we don't get a say in that. And what do you know? One of the ways that they're working to balance the budget is the city council voted on Tuesday to finalize an increase of your fees that you have to pay for trash pickup in the city of Los Angeles. Every homeowner in the city of LA will be paying about $56 a month more because Karen Bass couldn't spend money properly. If you want to continue to have trash pickup, it's going to cost you $60 more. It's the first time the trash has gone up in 17 years. And the sanitation people say, we're broke. It's so expensive because of all the things we have to do with organic waste disposal. But this, of course, is how the city works. They waste money in certain departments, so they have to raise it in other departments to balance the budget. Honestly, you could have just ended Inside Safe because that program is insignificant at best and a total corruption at worst, and then we would have balanced the budget. But here we go. $60 a month more you're paying in trash fees, and that's not all. What comes along with trash fees? City of LA is following in the footsteps of City of San Diego, and to balance our budget deficit, we are jacking up parking meters. For more, here's Fox 11.
Big changes could be coming to parking and trash rules across LA. Later hours, new fees, and stricter enforcement.
Oh, and they're going to have it on Sunday now. That whole free parking on Sunday, it's dead.
Fox 11's Haley Winslow is live in Venice with how this could affect your neighborhood. Haley.
Yeah, and your bank account, Christine. You know, you're lucky if you live in Venice because parking here is only 50 cents. But in other parts of LA, it's as much as $8 an hour, which when you add this 50-cent increase, which is going to be at meters citywide, after a couple hours, you might as well pay to valet.
Where in the city of LA are the meters $8 an hour? Holy cow.
I mean, it's already high enough.
It's about to be higher.
Everyone knows what that beep sound is, and it's super annoying.
It's about to be higher. LA City Council has voted to increase parking meter rates by 50 cents in 2026. So a meter that costs $1 per hour will be $1.50.
Wow, 50%? I think it's a lot.
It's ridiculous, but...
You know, we've gotten to the point with parking meters where they cost so much, nobody's actually ever going to carry the amount of change. So there's no point even putting a coin slot in there anymore. It's all going to be scan your credit card, or it's all going to be use an app. And the thing is, what's going on with parking right now is very reminiscent of what happened in the past with electric car charging. See, if you own an electric car, and I have for the past 3 years, if you have a Tesla, You have a network of chargers all over the place, and they're very fast, and there's lots of them. And you already have the Tesla app because you own a Tesla car, so it's not that complicated. Well, I own a Chevy Bolt, and I love my car, and 99% of the time, I charge it at home, and it works great. Love it. Love not having to go to a gas station. But when you go on a road trip, you discover that because you're not part of the Tesla network, apparently there's some adapter you can buy, but I bought one and it doesn't work, so I don't know what to tell you. You have to deal with the Slipshot network of all of these other companies that all insist you download their app, and there's no credit card slot. There's no way to pay for this thing unless you can connect to the internet. And if you just happen to be in a part of the state where there's no internet reception, like Santa Barbara wine country, it's almost impossible to figure out how to get these things to work. All the apps are different. They're all confusing. And I would imagine people older than me would throw their hands up in the air and say, screw this. Well, that's also what's happening, and it's not just a Los Angeles thing. It's happening all over the place when it comes to parking. Forget paid parking lots, forget parking meters, definitely forget parking attendants. What we're going to do is we're going to have you scan a QR code, log into a new app that you have to download, and that is how you will pay for your parking. You know, I was in Dallas back in February for the birth of my second niece. And it was a great time. One of the days, my wife and I wanted to get some barbecue. And if you want really good barbecue in Dallas proper, there's a few places, but the best one that I've known about now is the Pecan Lodge. The Pecan Lodge in downtown Dallas is fantastic. Great sausage, great smoked turkey, and really solid brisket. Everything's great all around. The sides, too. Big fan. We're pulling up to find parking to get to Pecan Lodge, and we see there is an open parking lot just about half a block away. But as we're pulling in, Texas did what Texas does best. If you've never been to Texas, you might not be aware that the running joke there is if you don't like the weather in Texas, wait 10 minutes. Because all of a sudden, it just started raining like crazy as we pull into this parking space. And this was a lot that was now governed by an app. So we get out of the car, and in the pouring rain, I have to pull out my phone, pull out the camera, scan the QR code, and then open up an app, put in my credit card information, pay for everything, and only then, after I've done all that and I'm soaking wet, can I have my barbecue. And yes, it was worth it.
Here we are. Got to park. Parking in LA is really hard already as it is.
Hard enough, especially in places like Venice. The city will also extend enforcement hours, including on Sunday.
It'll motivate people to maybe walk or do other things or not even drive.
Or
no, what we'll do is it'll motivate people to stay home. I don't know about you, but there are certain parts of the city I refuse to go to unless I absolutely have to, because the parking is insane.
Or ride bikes, but Carlos Gamaro thinks the hike is only going to hurt his business.
I'm going to lose customers.
In another effort to help slash the city's $1 billion budget deficit, council plans to enforce penalties starting at $25 for trash and recycle bins that block sidewalks and streets or are curbed past the current 8 p.m. curfew.
Wait a second. What is this? So not only are they jacking up your trash fees and they're jacking up the parking meters, they're now going to enforce, like meter maids, how often your trash cans are sitting at the curb outside of that small window when the trash company's out to pick them up. What if you're at work all day? What if you're not at home? What if you went out of town? They're going to charge you?
For trash and recycle bins that block sidewalks and streets or are curbed past the current 8 p.m. curfew. a relief for residents crowded with cans blocking cars, and helpful for our city recyclers and trash collectors.
Doesn't sound too helpful.
Piece of cans up 3 feet apart, away from cars and obstruction.
But nearly impossible for many Angelenos already challenged with finding homes for existing and unnecessary new green bins the city just dropped off.
They're just cans after cans stacked up. There's no space to put them.
Welcome to Los Angeles, I guess, right?
By the way, it is interesting that in a city that needs to jack up the parking fees, go after people for bins that are sitting out, it also has a massive problem with illegal dumping. But we are where we are.
So, yeah, in this town, even your compost has consequences. So bedtime for your bin. By the way, the day before collection day, you can't have your trash cans out before 5 p.m.
What is this new rule? I have people that do the gardening in the house. They come the day before trash day. They put out the trash cans about 20 hours before the trash people come, and then use the robot trash truck to smash my can into smithereens. I'm going to get a fine because they're out there the day before? No. Don't make me start Zillow scrolling in the middle of the show, because I will leave and I will not come back. I will do this show remotely, and you'll have to find a board op for noon to 3. But this city is pushing me out.
Before 5 p.m., this fine would show up on your utility bill. So again, if your can is out too early, fine.
Oh, so it's not even like they're going to give you a ticket. They're going to sneak this onto your DWP bill. So be very extra careful when you read that.
Out too late, fine. Park on the wrong side of the street or park too long, big fine. The only thing not fine, your wallet. Reporting live in Venice, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
I'm sure in some places it's a big problem. All right, Haley, thanks so much.
So there you go. That's how the city of LA wants to balance your budget by nickeling and diming you left and right. But it's not the only fee increase that's happening, although this one sparked so much outrage, there's some backtracking. See, it's not just the city of LA that's broke. The county of LA is broke as well. And somebody came up with the great idea, what if we jack up the fees for people that want a marriage license? And that didn't go over too well with the people that wanted to get married in Los Angeles County. For more, here's NBC4.
Some in the wedding business in LA County are now saying I don't to the idea of increasing marriage.
You knew they were going to do that, right? I think it's just like a rule. You've got to make a wedding pun.
To the idea of increasing marriage license fees. The new proposal would make saying I do more expensive.
But NBC4 has just learned there could be a happily ever after. After all, NBC4's Lolita Lopez is at Tina's wedding chapel in Van Nuys with the fight to stop the increase.
I'll stand right here,
okay,
and we'll have our couple stand right here.
Dalia Cuevas shows us how she performs weddings in the lush garden of Tina's wedding chapel in Van Nuys.
We can have up to 48 guests.
The family-owned business has been...
I think it's been mostly shotgun weddings at that one.
The family-owned business has been forming unions here for more than 3 decades.
It's all positivity, everything, it's all smiles.
That love not felt, she says, by her and a group of wedding officiants and notaries about the prospect of seeing marriage license fees in LA County go up. She says not only would business go to other counties, but their wedding party, the photographers, the local caterers, all the people who make nuptials happen would suffer too.
You know, you don't have to get the marriage license where you have the ceremony, right? I mean, you can, but you don't even have to have it done on the same day.
We have a bartender that we always contact, and florists. There's so many people that can get affected.
Confidential licenses were estimated to increase nearly threefold.
$85 is understandable. $220 can put us out of business.
$220 to get married in Los Angeles? You know, I remember when I was working on getting married. By the way, today is my 5-year wedding anniversary, 10/10/2020. And I did not get married in Los Angeles County. I did not get a marriage certificate in Los Angeles County. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we want to get married in Santa Fe. But also, even before that, we were looking at just getting a marriage license. And let's just say, dealing with the county during COVID was an impossible experience. You had to somehow figure out a way to make an appointment, but there weren't any appointments available. It was a nightmare. So outside of the $85 cost, it was just not feasible to get an appointment. So at one point, my wife and I realized, why don't we just drive to Santa Fe, invite the family, we'll all meet at one location, we can get married in the backyard, and it was great. Love that wedding. I've told that story in the past before. But when we were in Santa Fe, which is a wonderful small town, yet it's got all the amenities of a big city, we went, and you know how hard it was to get a marriage license in Santa Fe County in New Mexico? We just walked into the office, applied for one, filled out the paperwork, paid $25, and it was done. We signed it at the wedding in front of my wife's family, who all acted as witnesses because they're all attorneys. $25. Now, it's gone up in the last few years in Santa Fe. It's like $50 now. But how much are they trying to charge to get married in Los Angeles County?
$85 is understandable. Yeah. $220 can put us out of business.
$220. For the same paperwork, this city and this county are trying to nickel and dime everyone. Everyone who wants to talk about affordability, look at all the things that they're doing to make your life less affordable because they're terrible at budgets.
Notaries tell us these licenses are given to the marrying couple only, reducing the ability for people to get a hold of some of their personal information.
Especially these days with identity theft and being, in the public eye, it gives them a very good shelter from being exposed to all of that craziness. It's also important for people who are domestic violence survivors.
Alan Katz has been uniting couples at the cute little wedding chapel in Long Beach for 22 years. Alan spearheaded a campaign that includes Dahlia and others. They spoke out at a recent Board of Supervisors meeting, and he says he met with the LA County Registrar Recorder's Office last week.
We had to stand up and really put our voices out there.
You're putting us out of business. Everyone's going to go to Orange County and secretly get married at Disneyland before anyone finds out.
Those united voices seemingly heard. The County Registrar Recorder's Office tells NBC4 it has pulled the proposal for further review, one day before it was to be voted on. And for now, there are no new fees.
Sometimes we feel like we're too little and the government isn't going to pay attention. But the fact that they did and we voicing our concern made a difference is really beautiful.
A small little win in the endless sea of jacking up fees for everything.
Certainly is, and she and Alan said that they are very grateful. Now, the group says they want to continue discussions with the county because while they may understand that there might be a need for an increase in fees, they just want to be part of the process.
There is no need. Do you have any idea how much money the county has? How much money is in that budget? How much the Board of Supervisors make? There might just be a little too much money wasted on nonsense.
They just want to be part of the process. As for the Registrar's Office, they tell us that marriage service fees have not been updated in a decade, and any new costs would help offset rising wages, inflation, and technology updates. In Van Nuys, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
So this is how it works. The public employee unions get into a war with the county, saying we need raises for everybody. The county says we're broke. The unions say we need raises for everybody. The county says we're broke. The union says we need raises for everybody. The county says, okay, I guess we'll just have to jack up everybody's fees. Welcome to Los Angeles, everybody. When are you moving out? 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. I'm going to do some Zillow scrolling, and we'll be right back. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's go to Elaine in San Pedro. Elaine, hello.
Hi, Randy. I have two things. One is the parking in the South Bay area, like the beach areas, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, in those areas. They were having a problem where people were putting their own QR codes on the parking meters. So people think they're paying the city, and instead the money was going to some criminal's bank account, I guess, with the QR code stickers that were being put on the meters. And the other thing, I haven't heard you address how the county is screwing over landlords again. They are now going to require that landlords provide appliances, stoves, refrigerators for the people that they're renting to.
Oh, that one's news to me. I hadn't heard about that one. I knew the county was doing the thing about making sure that everything is no higher than 82 degrees when it comes to air temperature. But wait, landlords now have to pay for appliances for tenants?
Right. That came out just this week. They were supposed to vote on it, I think, actually yesterday. I don't know what the actual vote was, but I saw it on the news and on Facebook, which I'm on way too much, that's what the county was going to require, that the landlords provide the appliances for their tenants.
Well, I will do my best to investigate that and see when that actually gets brought up for a vote, because that seems like it'll be yet another thing that's going to make rent more expensive in Los Angeles because, of course, the landlords are going to have to pass that cost on to the tenants. Thanks so much for the call, Elaine. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. It's happened yet again. Another private lot in Los Angeles has been taken over by the homeless. For more, here's ABC 7.
Homeless encampments aren't just popping up in LA parks and sidewalks anymore. More and more, they're taking over private lots, too.
Just a few weeks ago, a 7 on Your Side investigation told you about an encampment on a private lot in Koreatown.
You remember the one with tennis courts and a pool and a working television because they were stealing the power from across the street.
That property.
They had a barbecue pit.
That property owner cleaned up the lot after our story, but now 7 on Your Side has been alerted to another encampment on private property that's not too far away. Kevin Ozebek joining us with the latest developments in this investigation. Kevin?
Hey guys, get this. The tipster who reached out to us tells 7 on Your Side investigates that she discovered this encampment because her stolen iPad ended up in it. Now,
You know, Apple has done a lot of things that have really improved society with their technology. The iPhone, the MacBook. I am able to do this show at home because of the advancements in computer technology. And that's not just Apple, but I've always been a Mac guy. But the AirTags and the Find My iPhones and the Find My iPads have led to the most incredible discoveries. Do you remember that story? It was probably maybe 2 years ago, of someone who was in San Francisco. They were working a job in Oakland, and someone stole their equipment bag that had their laptop and a camera in it that had an AirTag. They tracked it to a warehouse in San Francisco that the police knew about, but couldn't do anything about because it was an active investigation. And then a day later, that camera and that laptop ended up in Vietnam. This woman tracked her iPad after it got stolen, and it ended up at a homeless encampment on a private lot.
Now, this encampment is on what was this clean lot here, where the owner did want to build some low-income housing.
Oh, boy.
It's right next to apartments and close to a place of worship and even a school.
Now, what stopped them from building low-income housing? Oh, that's right. Low-income housing is all subsidized by the government. So he wanted the government to pay for a bunch of houses for him to build.
On the ground, all this green tarp makes it hard to peek inside. But from the air, you can clearly see that next to all these apartments is a vacant lot teeming with trash.
Very good alliteration.
People have moved in and have even made a makeshift garden.
It's kind of scary.
What are they growing? Cilantro? Jalapenos? Little avocado tree? It's pot, right?
It's kind of scary to walk past. It's definitely an eyesore.
This encampment on private property is at San Marino Street and Hoover. Hoover Elementary is just 2 blocks away, and many kids need to walk right by it.
Of course they do.
Sometimes when I pass by, they're always like screaming, fighting, or sometimes they're like doing this.
But
that footage of this small child describing the unspeakable things he sees while walking to school is what every person running against Karen Bass should use in their campaign ads.
But smoking isn't the only bad behavior people are complaining about.
It was stolen from here.
A maintenance man with the Salvation Army next door showed us where people from the encampment have been stealing their electricity.
Of course. Why is that not a crime? This is what was happening in the Koreatown one as well. If you're stealing power, shouldn't we be able to know where someone's tapping into the grid? Shouldn't there be some kind of monitor to show that there's some kind of surge in the power that's being used there? And shouldn't you be able to literally follow that power cord and make arrests for damaging infrastructure? Do we need to change more laws here?
Jose Dominguez says stuff was stolen from his trunk when he street parked here.
Other homeless see that this whole area is starting to be taken over. They see that they have this whole area that's pretty much made for them at this point.
7 on Your Side Investigates reached out to both the property owner and various city departments. Mayor Karen Bass's office tells us we are seeing a new trend in homelessness, with encampments forming on private properties.
And there's nothing we can do about it.
The mayor's office will be working with city departments to establish new protocols to hold private property owners accountable.
How about holding the criminal trespassers accountable who are stealing iPads and power and who knows what else?
LA's Department of Building and Safety issued the owner what's called an order to comply regarding incomplete construction and trash and debris violations. A few days later,
hey, what's up?
Those living here were told to get out. With the LAPD overseeing the eviction, bikes and electric scooters were wheeled out, along with
how much stolen property was at this one homeless encampment?
Along with everything from a printer to an app, bags of tools to an industrial vacuum, and even a cement mixer.
That's a new one. You hear a new one every day. There's always something that outdoes it. The craziest thing I ever heard a homeless person steal in Los Angeles was...
And even a cement mixer.
A cement mixer.
And as a parting gift, a witness told our 7 on Your Side photographer someone during their move out slashed our news van tire.
This is the second largest city in the country. This is the city that's going to host the Olympics. And when the homeless finally get evicted from the private lot they've been squatting on, they slashed the tires of the ABC7 news van.
That, of course, though, didn't slow us down from telling this story. Now, we do want to let you know we did repeatedly try to reach out to the person who owns this property, but Jory and Michelle, we never heard back from him.
Wow. Well,
how much for all the talk of SB 79 that passed today, that Gavin Newsom signed, and how we've got to redevelop all these single-family homes to apartment buildings, how many vacant lots are just sitting out there not being developed? How many unfinished construction projects like the Taggart Towers are just sitting there? Maybe we look at those before we decide to start destroying the homes that people are living in now? Nah, we can't do that.
Well, it looks like the individuals that were living at that property have now left. But what about that trash that was mentioned, the unfinished construction? How long does this owner have to comply?
So the city is giving him till around late November to get everything back up to code and into compliance. If he does not meet that deadline, they could start sending him some fines.
Boy, this city works so fast. And then you know how badly these things fester, how out of control they can get. Well, certain property owners just sit there and let it get bad. Who knows what's going on? Who knows if they even care what's going on their property, or if it's more screwed up, bankrupt foreign investors from China. There are other property owners that are taking action. We'll find out what's going on in Hollywood next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. There is one business owner in Hollywood where they're not going to put up with the homeless taking over. And so they're using the oldest trick in the book, something that Metro used to use, blasting out the classical tunes. Here's KTLA.
The owner of a strip mall in the heart of Hollywood is carrying out a plan to keep homeless people out of his parking lot. However, the solution is not music to everyone's ears.
If there's anyone complaining about this, think of the alternative.
A business plaza near the intersection of Hollywood and Gower believes it found a safe way to keep homeless people away.
And it does it by playing music, a great deal of music. Some neighbors say it is disrupting their lives. KTLA's Rachel Menitoff joins us live from Hollywood with their story. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Karine. Hi, Court. Good evening to you both. Yes, the idea is to prevent loitering and, more importantly, from people using the complex for illicit activity, but it's having some unintended and noisy consequences.
I don't know. I'd prefer the Bach over the sound of people injecting needles and smoking meth and screaming into the night.
Classical music typically used to soothe, but in this case, Hollywood residents say it's making them seethe.
It's really...
Yeah, you could do better.
It's really loud.
It's like 12 hours, like nonstop.
Very disruptive to your sleep pattern.
Troy Bridges says Gower Plaza on Hollywood Boulevard started playing the musical interlude about 3 weeks ago, beginning at 9 at night and ending at 9 in the morning. All in an effort to deter people from loitering and camping out in its parking lot.
It keeps the zombies away.
They're modulating the volume. You know, they'll start off low and then, you know.
Is there somebody that's actually got a dial and they're cranking up the volume as the zombies get closer?
And then, you know, in the middle of the night, it'll go up for a little while, which probably wakes people up, and then, you know, then it goes back down.
But longtime residents, Helen included, say it's disrupting her sleep, and she doesn't even know if it's working.
Like nowadays, I have to close all my windows. I have to turn up the volume of my television. I have to turn on the fan. I have to turn on my AC at night just to sleep, kind of.
Then there's times where it's not really working. They're still there. You know?
People just return.
What, did the zombies get earplugs? I've decided, since we're almost at Halloween, I'm just going to start calling them zombies.
You know? People just return to the complex even though the music is playing.
Yeah.
The owner of the strip mall, who wants to remain anonymous, says the music is the only thing that works.
Because, you know, the city won't do their job and get these people out of there that aren't supposed to be there.
And it's intended to protect his tenants, some of whom have moved out of the area entirely.
I don't know how you're a commercial business owner at this point. How you have these commercial properties, these strip malls. No wonder there's so many vacancies, because you see how the city of LA can't do anything about the people destroying them.
He tells KTLA that business owners will show up to work to find people have used the complex to do drugs, defecate, and generally trash the place.
Not a crime.
And the same noisy method has been employed at other Los Angeles businesses who say their requests for help have fallen on deaf ears.
That was the barber in downtown LA, and Ulysses called that torture.
A barbershop in downtown LA chose to blast the toddler favorite Baby Shark song to keep homeless folks from setting up camp outside of the business.
By the way, this is something LA Metro did to keep the zombies out of MacArthur Park Station. And then they all just migrated to MacArthur Park.
Nearby dwellers say without a doubt this isn't sustainable.
Sure, I mean, the class of music is a short-term solution, but maybe the long-term solution is helping people off the street.
Or, I don't know, arresting the people that are doing drugs.
And the owner of the strip mall says he's in compliance with city code, that the music is within the legal decibel. He says if police have any issue with the noise, he'll certainly put a stop to it. We're live in Hollywood tonight. I'm Rachel Menitoff. I'll send it back.
Maybe what we need to do, because the music isn't effective enough, maybe we need to have just some kind of phrase on a loop. Like Hugo Soto Martinez is a loser. And just say that over and over and over again. Hugo prefers the zombies to the residents. Hugo's a communist. I don't know. Just say those things over and over and over again. Maybe that'll get Hugo's attention.
Yeah, clap that up.
It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC as we wrap up yet another week. Where has this year gone? It's already mid-October. I will be broadcasting from New Mexico next week. Today is my 5-year anniversary, so we'll be celebrating next week in Santa Fe, and I love the fact that I can work from Santa Fe. It's very difficult to report on all the insanity that's going on in LA and still have that return ticket to come home here, but I'll do my best. I will be out next Friday because we need a day to go to a nice fancy dinner, and the thing is, I'm always down to work when I'm there. I can still walk around, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the food. But sometimes I like to day drink, and that you really only can do if you're not going to work that day. So you'll hear a best of the News Blitz then. By the way, if you don't get a chance to listen to all 3 hours of the John Phillips Show every day, I've been filling in all week. And there's definitely some stuff you probably want to listen to. Specifically, I think if you want, I'll give you 3 hours that maybe you download over the weekend if you didn't get a chance to hear them. First off, why don't you go ahead and listen to when we broke the Katie Porter story before anybody else had it.
And I am not throwing away my shot.
You can listen to Tuesday's 12 o'clock hour. Katie Porter threatens to walk out of a local TV interview. I found that on YouTube, and we were the first people to play it, and I made sure to tell everyone listening where you could find it, and what do you know? Then it went everywhere. Also, yesterday in the 1 o'clock hour, I had an interview with LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman, and I came away with it pretty darn impressed because I originally invited him on after we played here the press conference of the copper wire theft, and something that he made clear was that he is making sure to pursue felonies, for not only the people stealing the copper wire, but the businesses that are buying the stolen copper wire and resmelting it. So that was reassuring. I also threw in just an aside, something that I remember from a Board of Supervisors meeting. We played it here, where the Board of Supervisors wants to close Men's Central Jail. And apparently it's a lot harder for them to do that now because of Hochman charging Prop 36 left and right. And Hochman went after the Board of Supervisors for their Care First Jails Last initiative. So that was interesting. Listen to that interview. It was the 1 o'clock hour yesterday. And the 1 o'clock hour today, we did a live event in Sherman Oaks a few weeks ago, and so many people came up to say hi. Every once in a while, you get somebody who's running for an office. They come by and they drop off their campaign sticker, what have you, and we give it to Trisha, and we'll try to get them booked. We also got emails from saying, hey, there's this guy running for LA mayor against Karen Bass, Asad Al-Najjar. And I decided, hey, I've got an open slot on Friday, had Trisha book him. We had him on, and you know what? He's a fairly common sense guy. So again, as far as we know right now, Rick Caruso isn't running. Maybe he's going to run for governor. Maybe he's going to run for mayor. But this guy is running against Karen Bass, so it was worth the time to hear him out. But you can listen to all of that. And, of course, you can listen to all the podcasts of this show if you've missed any. We did a great show celebrating National Taco Day on Tuesday. So if you missed that, that's a real fun one because whenever we do our food shows, it's a real good time. I don't do them every Friday, but when there's a made-up holiday, I have to abide by it. But you can get all those podcasts and share them with your friends and subscribe. Even if you never download podcasts, subscribe so they go to your phone so we get the downloads. Why not? Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be talking to you from Santa Fe on Monday. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC.